Hello everybody, what is up? My name is AsterKatt and I made a mistake. Welcome back to Zero Escape 999 first of all. Second of all, I forgot to hit record. Don't worry, it's not too bad. I played for approximately 5 minutes. You did not miss much. But I realized I had started the recording on my camera and not on OBS. So, yikes. I guarantee I did not get far at all. We basically just picked our door and there was a little bit of there was a little bit of Lotus and 7 beef, but that was about it. So we're gonna go through door 1 and then we're going with Ace and Clover, which I had just paused to make the remark of like, oh, I think that's, I'm actually really excited about this group because I'm excited to see the dynamic. And that was
June and I want door 6.
where I realized it wasn't recording.
That's 7. We'll go through doors.
So they're going through door 6, which is the one with the steam engine room.
I didn't really want to go through door 2. Besides, if we've got a younger girl with us, it'll lower the average age.
He needs to stop.
Right, June?
Well,
I feel bad for June. Kind of the
Pig.
recap.
You just wait and
This
see.
is so confusing to me. I was just like, why a woman
Call
prepared
me
to kill?
old. This is why men are such a pain in the ass. They're about as subtle as a brick.
And they're at it again.
Yep. Where's Santa going? Is that still, would that still be? Yeah, okay. So 7, oh my God. Oh, the 4 of them going through a door? Because that's Lotus, 7, June, and Santa. Good Lord. Even after they separated the staircase, Lotus is still muttering angrily to herself.
I'll see you later, June.
And then we said
Jumpy.
goodbye to June.
Don't make that.
And now we're here. And this is exactly where I stopped. And I was making the comment about Clover and Ace and Junpei. So I sincerely apologize for that. I've been doing this for like 3 years now. This is the second time this happened. But it's okay, we're here now. Sorry, I feel so scattered
Here's
right now,
AsterKatt.
but we're here.
It was the door on the left, right?
That should be it, yes.
Then here we go.
I have no idea what's through this door. It opened and they walked through. Actually, no, we do. I think there's 4 doors.
It's just as
And
Santa
Clover
and Lotus
vanished.
said.
At the end of the hallway sat a door with a large red 1
A
on it.
numbered door.
To the left of it, bolted to the wall, was the
There's
red.
the red. I'll go first.
Ace went first and waved his wrist over the scanner panel.
Now the 2 of you, if you would.
If you would. Junpei was next. Finally, listlessly, Clover lifted her arm. She leaned toward the scanner panel. Third asterisk clicked into life, shining brightly. Ace took hold of the lever.
Now,
He took a deep breath and turned to Junpei and Clover.
are you ready? Shall I pull it?
Yeah, anytime.
Clover said nothing. She nodded little more than a lethargic twitch of the head.
Very well then. Let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
And it's open! Move it!
They stumbled into the room.
Where
Oh,
is it?
this is really different. Frantically, Junpei scanned the room. There. His eyes stopped at the device that would determine whether they lived or died.
There it is! Over there!
Next to the door that come through was the dead. As one, they ran to it. Look at this harmony. Who knows how long it'll last, but like for now, they put their hands over it as if they were fighting for it. Oh, well, there we go.
It stopped.
Yes, it did.
Junpei could feel his heart pounding against the inside of his ribs. Ace and Clover were breathing hard and fast.
I don't believe I'll ever get used to that.
Nope.
I'm not sure it's something I'd want to get used to. We should finish this game before imminent death becomes a normal thing.
I agree.
Now then.
I like that they kind of have some of I think it's funny that they have some of the same conversations no matter like which door you go through or who the other person is. Like,
There's
yeah,
another
Clover's
door.
here instead of Santa and June, but like the 2 of them still had the same conversation.
Let's try opening it.
He took hold of the knob and easily, gently pulled it open.
So, this is the wheelhouse?
He closed the door again and turned to Ace and Clover. He fixed each in turn with a meaningful stare, then spoke.
Ace, you investigate the wheelhouse next door.
Very well.
Clover, you're in charge of this room. Say something.
Okay, I will.
All right then, let's get started.
Okay, Junpei taking charge, I guess. I mean, like, good for him, but like, fascinating. Oh, I'm so interested. This is actually, I think, one of the group dynamics I'm the most interested in. Okay, so we're in the chart room. It's a map, a stack of what? I think this is a nautical chart? There's this line on it here. I think the line is the route the ship is supposed to take. There are these dots all over the map. Oh, those are probably ports, like for a boat to stop at. Looks like the lines connect to the dots. There's a stack of charts like that one. Yeah. How many are there? I'm not really sure, but I'd say somewhere in the ballpark of 10 or so. Huh. Each page has different lines on it. Alright. There's nothing left in the drawer. A light. Looks kind of like a wilted flower. Yeah, it does. Great observation. A chair. A chair. Clover isn't talking much. Well, I guess that's understandable. I mean, she's been through a lot. Really, it's more surprising that she's still together enough to talk at all. Seems solemn somehow and melancholy. It's a chair, Junpei. I think you might be projecting a little. Okay. No. Let me back in. I want to go back in. Let me back in. Looks like this is the only exit. Okay. Can I go back in? There we go. I like to do it one room at a time so we don't miss anything. A world map with the Atlantic Ocean in the center. There are a number of red pins in several locations. Huh. What do these red pins mean? The nautical charts I picked up earlier have a map like this one. Maybe one of them matches up to the pins or something. Let's see. Well, what do you know? Looks like this one's a match to the pins. Okay, so we got 7 locations connected by straight lines. And each one has a word next to it. That's probably the speed.
Oh, good lord. That sounds complicated. Oh no, oh no, oh no.
Okay, a nautical table found in the chart room. It shows the directions of southwest, northwest, southwest, northwest, east, north, and straight? The frick does that mean? Does it have something to do with, like, I don't know. I'd say gas, but it's not like boats. Oh, okay. So we start here in Japan. Full there to Australia, half to Madagascar, slow to the bottom of Africa. I'm going to look so stupid if I... Well, what did slow mean? Slow? Full over by South America. Dead? Stop, huh? Okay. Right, I got the nautical chart that matches up to these pins. I don't think I need to spend any more time with this map. Okay. Shelves are lined with books. Let's see what's in this blue one. There's something written on it. Ship's log. Huh. Ship's log, huh? Oh, good lord. More files. Ship's log found in the chart room. The following is written on the last page. We leave soon for a new journey across the sea. After leaving port, we headed south and west. We turned southwest to steer around the continent, then proceeded northwest. Okay. Southwest. Yeah, that would be... South and west would be southwest. That is how that works. No. No, it's not. I don't know. Due north. I know due north is a term, but what does that mean? Dock in the UK. The homeland of this vessel. Whoop, sorry, bumped the mic. It's a wooden box. Maybe a case for letters? Hey, Clover, you ever write letters? Nothing. Doesn't look very suspicious. Lines of books looks like they have something to do with sailing. None of these look very useful. Oh, a pocket watch. Pointing at 8 and 1. Crazy concept. That's a pocket watch. She sure hasn't been saying much, and she just keeps looking at the floor. She seems kind of sad. I wonder why. Pocket watch, an old one too, the kind you have to wind. The hands have stopped at 5 minutes, 39 seconds past 10 o'clock. That would be 10, 5, 34, which would be, if we do the math, it'd be 7, 6, 13, 4. There was probably no reason to do that, but... Oh, wait, no. I don't know. I wonder if it's broken. I don't feel anything moving when I fiddle with the dial here. Looks like I could move the hands manually, though. Oh, God. Oh, God. Knob doesn't work. This seems like the worst kind of puzzle for me. A voice he hadn't expected startled Junpei from his examination of the pocket watch.
Oh, pocket watch. Might I take a look at it?
Of course. I spun around to find Ace standing in the doorway. Ace was one of the people dead in the hallway. Junpei shrugged and handed him the pocket watch, or by the stairs.
Hey, man. What are you doing over in this room?
Oh, I just thought I'd come check up on the two of you. Is there a problem?
Well, there's not a problem, but...
Well, not a problem. That's a lie. I wanted to get rid of Ace. I sent him to the wheelhouse at the beginning for a reason. I wanted to talk to Clover alone.
Smart!
There's something I want to ask her, and I don't want anyone to overhear us. I'm pretty sure Clover won't talk if there's anyone else around. I'm a little desperate to send him back. Quick. He has to leave.
Ace opened his mouth and took another look at Junpei and shut it again. A small smirk appeared on his face.
Oh, I see. Of course.
Well, you know, if it works, it works. He looked Junpei over, then glanced at Clover.
I apologize for the intrusion. Well, best of luck.
I was gonna say, did he just pat him on the shoulder? Ace gave Junpei a knowing pat on the shoulder and left. Junpei let out a sigh and brushed a few drops of sweat from his forehead. He turned and found himself looking straight into Clover's eyes. She'd heard what Ace had said. She regarded Junpei with caution.
What was that about?
She was clearly suspicious and with good reason.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Junpei's eyes widened and he held up his hands in a gesture of innocence.
No, it's not like that.
What's it like then?
I just wanted to hear the rest of that story. I didn't get a chance to ask you about it until now.
What story?
About the experiment, remember? The one you started to tell me in the operating room? You said something about an experiment that happened here 9 years ago.
Clover bit her lip. She stared down at the floor for several long moments, and when she spoke, it was barely audible.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to talk about that right now. I'm just not in the mood, okay? You understand, right? I keep thinking about my brother. I can't stop. I mean, who would do something like that to my brother?
I have a feeling like there is truth to what she's saying, but it's not him dying. Like that's not what she's upset about.
I can't forgive them. I'm not gonna let them get away with it.
Like she's talking about something related to the experiment or something.
They're gonna pay for it. I promise.
Like these feelings are genuine. I think they're genuine, but they're not about what she's leading us to believe they're about.
So
Her shoulders were shaking. Drops of blood sprung up on her lips where she was biting them. She wiped it off and looked up at Junpei, her eyes fierce and angry.
Junpei, who do you think did it?
Her voice was cold and scarcely above a whisper. Junpei gulped.
Well, if what Seven said was right, then there would have to be at least 2 of them. You need at least 3 people to open the numbered doors, and if you subtract Snake, that means there were at least 2 other people.
You're right. So, what does that mean?
Well, if we just look at the bracelet numbers, we should be able to figure it out. Who could have opened door 3 with Snake? Well, really, who and who, or who and who?
You mean it could have been 4 people?
Well, technically, it's possible.
I don't know. That doesn't seem very likely.
Why?
I'll tell you later. Why don't we just assume it was only 2 other people for now?
Okay, got it. Let's do that then.
Then who do you think it could be?
Junpei crossed his arms in thought. Snake's bracelet number was 2, which 2 bracelet numbers added to 2 would give a digital root of 3. I know I figured this out at one point, because 3 would be, most likely would be 12. Could be 12 or 21. So 12 minus 3 would be 9, which would be me and Clover, right? Wait, hang on. Yeah. No, 12 minus 2 would be 10, which could be June and Clover, which doesn't really make sense. That's option 1. It could be 7 and Santa as another. It can't be me and me. It could be, I can't eat a Lotus and Snake, and it can't eat a 9th man. So those are the only 2 options for that number. And then the other one we have is 21. 21 minus 2 is 19. Can we even get to 19 with just 2? No. So it's literally June and Clover or 7 and Santa. Clover isn't even an option, so it would have to be 7 and Santa, right?
Would it be Santa and 7? The digital root for Snake, Santa, and 7 is 3. Wait, hold on. Are Santa and Seven the killers?
What's wrong?
Clover looked at Junpei and he looked back at her. There was no point in hiding it.
I thought about it.
He told her his conclusions.
That's what I thought.
She looked less surprised than he'd expected.
Santa and Seven. If it was two people, then that's the only combination that works.
Hey, wait a minute there. Don't you think it's a little too early to be jumping to conclusions?
I mean, the only other one is June and Clover.
Well, all I said is that those two would have been able to open door 3 with your brother. There might be other possibilities.
Well, what other possibilities?
He didn't have an answer. He was ready to admit defeat when Clover spoke.
Are you saying you think that it was 3 or 4 people?
It could have
I
been.
don't think that's likely.
Why not?
Can I borrow your pen and paper?
Sure. Clover put her hand out expectantly.
Yeah, here.
Junpei pulled out his pen and pad of paper and handed them to her. She opened the notebook and wrote down several simple addition problems. Eventually, she had 8, which provided a digital root of 3. Oh, I like her handwriting. It's cute. 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 6, which would be... So that's June, Santa, and Ace. Ace, Clover. Me, Clover. 7, Lotus. Me, June, Lotus. Good lord, that's a lot of people. Ace, Snake, 7, Lotus. Ace, Clover, June, Lotus. Ace, me, Lotus. No, June, 7. Snake, no. Santa, Clover, me, 7.
What's this?
These are the combinations for 3 or 4 people.
Okay. Yes.
These 8 combinations are the only possible ones.
Oh, I see.
Junpei,
Yeah?
I can trust you, right?
I did not murder your brother.
Of course. Why would you need to ask that?
Really?
Yeah,
So then I should get rid of B, D, G, and H, right?
of course. Just cross them out. And you should take off yours too. The ones with 4.
So, what does that leave?
A and E.
June, yeah.
Wait, it can't be A.
Why?
Because June's in that one. There's no way in hell she'd do something like that.
Are you sure?
I'd bet my life on it.
Okay then. I can cross off A too, right?
Yeah,
Well, what have we got left?
E.
That is a lot of people. That's Ace, Santa, 7, and
Do
Lotus.
you know what this means?
Everyone besides me, you, and June would be working together.
Do you think that's likely? If there were 4 people working together, they wouldn't be very cautious. I don't think they'd try that hard to hide what they were doing if they outnumbered us, right?
Well, you do have a point.
And besides, if Ace and 7 are working together, they could have easily gotten rid of me when I went to the shower room with them.
True.
But they didn't. They didn't even try anything.
But that would have made...
If they were killers, why wouldn't they?
Her voice was calm, but Junpei only had to look her in the eye to know it was a forced calm. There were tears forming at the corners of her eyes, and she was blinking furiously to keep them back. Perhaps by attempting an objective analysis of who might have killed her brother, she had been able to distance herself from the harsh reality of his death. The more she struggled to act unconcerned, the more Junpei felt his heart tighten.
I see. Anyway, I understand now. It seems pretty unlikely that it was as many as 3 or 4 people.
Yeah,
Then that means there's a good chance it was Santa and 7.
that's how it looks.
But why would they do it?
There was a moment of silence.
Motive.
He laid his hand gently on her shoulder. He was close, so close to the answer. Ace, I love you. But why? When Ace chose the worst possible moment to return. He raised a knowing eyebrow and then spoke.
Have I interrupted something?
What is it?
There was something I wanted to speak with you about, Junpei. Could you come with me for a moment?
Sure. He turned on his heel and walked back toward the wheelhouse.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Junpei looked over at Clover. He gave her a short nod, hoped that she would be willing to talk to him again later, and followed Ace.
What did you want to talk about?
Ace looked at Junpei and smiled, perhaps more of a smirk than a smile.
There was something I wanted to check.
Yeah? What's that?
If you'll excuse me.
With no warning, Ace slipped his hand in the pocket of Junpei's vest.
What the hell are you doing?
I'm just checking.
No, stop!
No. He reached for H's arm. But it was already too late. In the older man's hand were the pieces of paper Junpei had balled up and hidden in his
Just as I
pocket.
thought. What exactly are these pieces of paper hiding in your pocket? You switched them, didn't you, when we voted? Well, I can't say that I care. I managed to get through the numbered door I wanted, despite your mischief.
Then, why did you...
Oh, simple curiosity. I hope you won't think ill of me for it.
I don't. Ace smiled, gave Junpei a friendly pat on the shoulder, then turned on his heel and left. Well, he's really funny. I'm sorry. This is amazing. It was a small defeat, but it was a defeat. Junpei had lost the upper hand, and he knew it. He could feel his stomach begin to tense.
Damn.
The helm. Well, steering wheel might be a more appropriate term. A compass. It appears to be broken, however. You see, the glass cover had been smashed to pieces. Broken compass doesn't look like it'll be very useful. This thing won't budge. Feels like there's something keeping it in place. What would be the point of moving it? The ship is stopped. What would be the use of steering it? Yeah, I know. Still. Helm, it won't move. There's another room on the side of the window. This isn't good. So many drawers, but nothing inside of them. A desk. There's nothing in the drawers. Is that a desk? A desk. Anything in the drawers? Nope. Okay, this is the door. Whoop. What is this? What is this? Some kind of display? It looks a little like an electronic scoreboard. I imagine it was added recently. Arrival board like at an airport. There's nothing on it right now, though. Okay, okay. Is there anything else to check in here? Chair. Clover isn't very talkative. She looks kind of out of it. Is she thinking about Snake? Who knows? The right drawer, let's have a look. Nothing. Left drawer, let's have a look. Nothing. Wow. I love getting nothing. Okay. Junpei, are you trying to open that door? Forget it. It's pointless. I tried it earlier. It won't open. Okay. We can't go back. Alright. That should be everything in there then. Oh boy. Okay. So we got everything here. Yes, I suppose you could call it a helm. Steering wheel might be a more accurate. You are okay. Well-polished steering wheel. Still looks like it moves. There's a metal plate bolted over the window. There's a compass behind the helm. Okay, I'm guessing we'll have to move it at some point then. There's a circular hole cut into the board. Alright, alright.
Oh, God.
An engine or telegraph. They use this on old ships to adjust the speed of the ship. Oh! Like the gear shift in a car? Well, it's a little different. The device doesn't connect directly to the engine. In short, it's a transmitter. The navigation officer uses it to set the speed of the ship, and it sends a signal to the engine. There's a handle on top of it which can be moved back and forth to... Hold on. Huh? There's no handle. You're right! There isn't. Looks as though it was deliberately removed. The handle's been taken off. If we can find a replacement handle, I could probably get it to move. Alright, so we're on the hunt for a handle. Yes. Ah, a human hammer. They're often used to subdue large men like Seven. What? That was a joke, of course. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Ace, you really kind of suck at making jokes. That was rather cruel. Aww! Just like the one on their left, it's broken though. Can't really use something that's broken. Junpei, you're so mean! This room is just like the other one. Metal plates bolted over the windows. Heck, not just bolted, it looks like they've been welded on. No way in hell are we gonna get those off anytime soon. Okay, okay. Oh, nope. Out, let me out. Oh, wait. Looks like this is some sort of lock. It's got a weird shaped indentation on it. Huh? This shape. Maybe... This looks like the pocket watch would fit here. Nothing. I imagine the pocket watch is intended to go in there. However, we may need to do something with the watch first. Okay. It doesn't appear to be working. Yeah. No. It's probably broken. Looks as though you can move the hands, however. But what are we gonna move the hands to? Actually, the handle just won't move. There's gotta be some sort of locking mechanism at work here, though. There's a plate on the door. The letters are too scratched. I can't tell what it says. Okay. Compass. And what destiny does it point us to? I really hope you don't think that sounded cool. Junpei! Stop being mean! The needle is pointing north. Let's see if it— Whoa! Looks like the steering wheel moves. So it would seem. I noticed something else as well. What's that? Well, when you move this wheel, the compass also moves. What do you mean? The ship, it's moving. Haha. Tricked you, didn't I? The wheel and the compass must be connected to one another somehow. Do you think that's important? Well, let's try turning it again. Ah. First we go northwest. Nothing is happening. Junpei, this is almost certainly one of Zero's puzzles. There must be a clue here somewhere that will help us solve it. Have you found anything? Perhaps something with the points of the compass on it? Yes, I did. Ah, that's right. We headed south and west first, not southwest. That was my mistake. We headed south. And then we headed west. And then we headed southwest. No. Okay. That's weird. Why isn't anything happening? Junpei, you aren't hiding anything, are you? Have you already found something with directions on it? Yes. I'm trying. I'm bad at navigation. Okay. So we left the port. We go south and then west. South. And then west. And then we go southwest. No! This is so annoying. I know what I'm supposed to do! Southwest. And then northwest. And then east. And then north. What the? The handle came off. Stooping so low, are you, Zero? Handle. A handle. That was hard. That goes here. So, I sure hope this handle fits. Yes, it fits! Excellent! That should allow us to operate the engine order telegraph. Let's give it a shot. Oh boy. Okay. Full. Half. Slow. Full. Half. Jed. Stop. Huh? That's weird. I thought I put in the right speed. Did I mess up? No, I don't think so. Look, something happened on the back wall of the wheelhouse. Yeah, you're right. Let's check it out. Okay. The back wall of the wheelhouse. Ah! There's something on the wall that looks kind of like an arrival board. There's a whole bunch of words on the left side of the display. What the hell is this? They're names of ports across the world. I imagine it's showing us the ship's route. You know, just like the ones you might see at an airport. Departing XX carrier, flight XX at XX0. Like that. Oh, I get it. It does look like those are the names of all the ports along the ship's route. Looks like only one of those has a time on it, though. A time on the last line, right? 10 seconds past 3 o'clock. Perhaps that's the arrival time? 10 seconds past. Oh, perhaps. Whoa, what's he doing? Excuse me, Junpei. Hey, he just took my pocket watch! Hey! What the hell are you doing? Just trust me. I really like Ace. It should be fine now. Thanks for giving me the pocket watch back, but you don't need to look so smug about it. Let's see what he— oh, he moved the hands. 10 seconds past 3 o'clock. Oh, so you change it to match the final arrival time. Ace nodded slowly. You know what to do next, right? Give it a shot. Cool. What are you doing? There's only one thing for you to do, you know. Now give it a try. Okay, I just wanted to look at your handiwork. Some sort of luck. It's got a weird shaped indentation on it. Let's try putting it in there. Yeah! Yes, it says open now. Good work. It seems you were successful. Well done, Junpei. Hey! Hey, Clover! What? Look, we unlocked the door! Now we can get out of this room. Oh. Well, let's go then. Over. What a weird group. You found it! Woohoo! I guess.
Oh, a hallway.
It's far too narrow to be called one.
They found themselves in a small space outside the wheelhouse. On their left was a wooden door.
This seems to be the only route.
Yeah, let's go.
Junpei pushed it open and stepped into the room beyond.
Wow.
Wow! It was full of all manner of turn-of-the-century electronic equipment.
Well, these machines are weird. I've never seen any of them before. Huh? Wait, this one is...
One smaller machine had a metal bar that ended in a circular handle. Ace seemed to recognize it.
Yes. A telegraph key. These were used to transmit Morse code a long time ago.
He turned and slowly took in the room.
This must be the communication office.
Across the room from the door they'd entered through was another door.
And that door?
A metal plaque was nailed to it. It read,
Captain's quarters. Huh.
That's what it says.
Then, do you think...
Ace swallowed. Junpei could feel his hands begin to sweat. Only Clover seemed unaffected.
Well, we won't know if we don't open it.
She walked up to the door and put her hand on the knob. It opened easily, and without so much as a pause, she walked in. Junpei and Ace followed. First thing they saw. A watch?! Junpei! Oh, Clover looks so cute! It was a man on the floor covered in blood. Oh, she's adorable! Look at her! Sorry, this is not the time for that. Junpei felt his body seize up, his mouth went dry, and he felt very, very cold. The blood in his veins slowed to a crawl, and his heart tightened like a fist.
Not again.
It was the third time he'd seen the horror of death laid out before him. He didn't think it was something he could stand to see much more of. Still, he had begun to accept that whatever it was that he saw, whatever happened to him, was beyond his control, and whatever force controlled him was driven by a determination he could not hope to match.
Damn.
A sense of helplessness, of desperation washed over him, and left behind a feeling of utter emptiness that wormed its way through his body like acid.
No. Wait, we didn't check his pulse yet. Maybe he's still alive.
Fueled by that spark of hope, Junpei ran to the man's body. His heart fell. When he touched his hand to his neck,
No pulse.
his pupil dilated and he wasn't breathing.
He's dead. Damn. If only we knew how it happened.
Watch! Junpei lifted the man's already stiff body. There was a deep red wound on his chest.
These wounds. I wonder what killed him.
Junpei did not have to wonder long.
It must have been this.
For lying next to the corpse was an axe. The entire blade was drenched in bright red blood. In the shape of the man's wound, there could be no doubt that it had been made by the axe. How recently was this? Junpei looked at the body again. A lake of blood stretched out around it. It was wearing the clothes of ship's captain, although they were stained with
These
blood.
clothes. A captain. Does that mean this guy was Zero?
On his left hand was a bracelet. The number on the bracelet was...
Bracelet
I don't
0.
trust it. I don't trust it. It's only then Junpei noticed the stench of blood that filled the room. He couldn't help but laugh. There was nothing else for him to say. It was too simple, too obvious, too straightforward. If there hadn't been a dead man on the floor, Junpei might have thought it was a joke.
It may be wise to find a way out of here first.
Yeah, you're right.
What does this mean? Seek a way out. Okay. Captain's quarters. Cool. Okay, there's blood on the chair. There's blood on the chair. Do you think this was the dead guys? Yeah, probably. There's blood on the chair. Kind of creeped me out. Really? Oh, okay. A camcorder. Looks like it's pointed at the door. Well, the power's on. Why would someone want to videotape a door? This is the exit, huh? Don't even have to try this door to know it's locked. I knew it. I think this kind of camera records to a hard drive, but it doesn't look like this one's recording anything. What do you mean? It's just sending whatever it sees to something. What does it see? The door? Okay. Doesn't say anything. Alright, it's locked. Cool. It's a lamp, but it doesn't turn on. I don't think there's anything special about it. Music box. Cool. One of those old music boxes. How about we wind it up? Why does it sound like that? Is it broken? Pins on the cylinder are shaped all weird. I don't think those are the pins. It looks like someone put something else on top of it. I think we're gonna have to take it apart to figure out what's going on, don't you? I'll have to take it apart if we want to get a good look at it. Okay. Small table. It's a bed. There's nothing under the sheets. Can't look at the curtains. Can I look at the bed? A bed? There's nothing in it. Nothing suspicious here. Cool. Oh, okay. Look like batteries. There's a cable running from them to the monitor. What's the deal with this? Is it some kind of code? There are 4 rows of numbers and letters. They all start with 0 and end in 8, F, N, or V, respectively. Maybe this is something to do with number bases. What are number bases? Okay, well, yeah. 10 is in base 10. Okay! There's a bunch of weird buttons on here. They probably switch what you see on the screens. Do you know how to work this thing? Why don't we just press one of these? Like this one. Well, I guess it does change the... What the hell is this? Nothing. Looks like it doesn't work anymore. Oh, darn, I should have looked at the screens. There's nothing on the monitor, just static. Isn't that the door on the screen right behind us? You're right. So whatever that camera sees is sent to the screen in real time. I wonder if that means something, you know?
Huh.
Junpei snorted with a grim humor for the second time since he'd come into the room. The 4 screens along the bottom had a single letter on each spelling out.
Z-E-R-O, huh? It's like he's making fun of us. What do you think?
He turned to Clover, who was standing next to him. Clover nodded.
Nothing.
It seemed that she cared about little. Of course, Junpei could hardly blame her. Given the strain she was surely under, Junpei was somewhat surprised she had responded at all. Still, he had to ask. He gestured toward the corpse.
What about him? Do you think that's really 0?
Clover shook her head weakly.
There's no way that's him. Didn't I tell you already? 0 is one of us.
Yeah, right. Well, even if he wasn't one of us, there's no way that man could be 0.
Huh?
Don't you get it? The letters that spell 0 on the TV screen, the captain's clothes, and of course, the bracelet with a 0 on it. It's too obvious. Look, this is 0 right here. This dead body is 0. Isn't that kind of fishy?
Yeah.
You're right. Only an idiot wouldn't see through something like that.
No, that's not the point. So I'm not trying to make fun of them for thinking a trick like this would work. I'm sure they didn't think it would work, which makes me wonder. I think this is a challenge. A challenge from the person who's really behind all of this. He's making fun of us. Don't you get it? If whoever killed this guy really wanted us to think this corpse was 0, they'd never have put a bracelet on him. Walking around with a 0 bracelet would be like hanging a sign around your neck that said, "I did it!" Anyone with a brain would be able to see that this guy is supposed to look like everything 0 is supposed to be. Just like we did. The killer must have known we wouldn't think he was 0 and put the bracelet on him anyway. Do you know why?
Why?
Like I said, he's mocking us. Too bad, suckers. This isn't 0.
I love him!
Where's the real me then? See if you can catch me.
It's the same bad joke a lot of criminals like to play. They'll just sit back and watch people run in circles.
That's really twisted. But it almost seems kind of childish.
Yeah, you're right. It's really childish. It's like it's just a game to whoever this person is. That's what seems funny to me.
Junpei bent down next to the corpse.
All right, let's get back to the point. Who killed this man?
I don't know.
And what's this guy's deal? Who is he?
How would I know that? If I knew anything, I would have told you.
You have no idea who he is.
Why would I?
Junpei sat back on his haunches and
We
thought.
should check and see if he's got anything on him that might tell us who he is.
Where's Ace?
Give me a hand here, Clover.
Huh?
We gotta flip him over. How else are we gonna search his pockets?
Clover didn't move.
Okay, fine. Guess I'll do it.
Junpei had no choice but to move the body on his own.
Here we go.
He grabbed hold of an area not completely covered in blood and shoved. It took a moment, but eventually Junpei felt the man's bulk begin to shift. Just as it did,
Huh?
something fell from the man's left wrist.
Hey, it's the...
bracelet with the 0 on the face.
Lastly, let us discuss how to remove the bracelet. 1. You escape from this ship. 2. More Hartley, which is 0. In other words, once the bracelet is taken outside the confines of the ship, or the backside of the narrow heartbeat.
Oh god.
Junpei stared at the bracelet.
This man... He's dead, isn't he?
Junpei, I love you. I mean this with all of the affection in the world. But you are an idiot. I say this lovingly, I say this lightheartedly, I say this jokingly. Yes.
Huh?
No, it's just... I guess I didn't really think about it until right now. If his bracelet's off, that means he's dead.
Yes.
Well, it's pretty obvious that he's dead. You don't really need to look at his bracelet to figure out that he's dead.
Yeah. I guess you're right. It is pretty obvious.
I love him.
Well, he looks a lot better than the other bodies we've seen, though.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, if there wasn't all this blood, he'd almost look like he was still alive. I mean, I know it's kind of a messed up thing to say, but he kind of has it better.
Junpei!
You know?
Shut up!
Dying from a bomb going off inside of you?
Shut up!
I mean, that's
Shut
just-
up! Shut up!
Some of Snake's bones went
Shut
right through
up!
his skin.
Shut up!
I think the explosion must have thrown him against the wall or something.
Shut up! Shut up! Why are you speaking? Oh my god! I'm so shocked.
There was a broken bone just sticking out of his left arm.
Stop!
And,
Suddenly, Junpei realized what he was saying. How could he have been so cruel? He clapped his hands over his mouth. It was already too late. He turned to look at Clover. She was glaring at him furiously.
What did you just say?
Her words sounded cold. He knew an apology could hardly atone for what he'd done, but he tried anyway.
Oh man, I am so sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I really don't know what I was thinking. I mean...
In his defense, this is all very shocking, and he never thinks in the first place. And I know he didn't intend any harm. But dear God, you are so dumb.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. What did you say about his arm?
Arm?
Yes, his left arm. You said it, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I did, but I mean, didn't you see it too?
Of course not. I could barely look at him. There's no way I was gonna see the details.
Clover took a quick, deep breath.
Are you sure it was his left arm?
Junpei thought back.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
And he had a broken bone, right?
What the hell are you getting at here?
Just shut up and answer me!
She shoved her face closer to his. He could see the fire in her eyes. Junpei winced and swallowed.
Yeah, he did. It was pretty bad, too. The bone was sticking out of the arm.
No sooner were the words out of his mouth than Clover's expression changed.
Clover? What's wrong? Look, I'm sorry if I said anything.
Suddenly she was crying. Junpei wasn't sure what to do.
Thank you.
It's close to the last thing he had expected to
Huh?
hear.
What are you...
Junpei had no idea what had just happened. He didn't think he'd done anything worthy of thanks, and he couldn't understand why she would have chosen that moment to begin crying. I don't know either, but I'm really, 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 really hoping this means Snake is alive.
Thank you so much, Junpei.
She thanked him again, and then something even stranger happened. Oh, she looks beautiful. So does he. Oh, I love the soft colors here. Clover threw herself into Junpei's surprised arms.
Hey, what's going on with you?
I'm sorry, it's just... I'm so happy.
Why?
The body in the shower room, it isn't his. It isn't my brother.
Huh?
It's not Snake.
Why on earth would you think that?
Because his left arm is...
She stopped herself.
Sorry, I really shouldn't be talking about this.
Junpei decided it'd be prudent not to press her for any more information. If she did not wish to tell me, she certainly had a reason for doing so. Perhaps more importantly, however, if Clover was so certain, then she was likely right. That meant that the body in the shower room wasn't Snake. It wasn't much, but that knowledge lifted some of the weight from Junpei's heart.
He's still alive. I'm so happy.
Tears shone in her eyes. Those tears melted Junpei's heart as she cried. She had pushed herself up against his chest like a child. Junpei put his arms around her and held her tight.
I'm so glad!
Huh?
Junpei, you were right!
Huh?
No matter what happens, you can never lose hope. You have to remember what's most important, and that's to have faith and to have love.
Stop,
If
this
you
is
can
really
remember
sweet.
all of those, that'll bring you good luck.
Clover reached into her pocket and pulled something out.
That's...
It was a laminated bookmark with a 4-leaf clover.
I only made it here because you gave me this. I was suspicious of everybody, and I was angry and miserable. But because I had this 4-leaf clover, because of what you said to me,
Yeah.
Junpei hadn't thought his words would have such an effect on her. Her words were making him feel a little awkward.
Thank you so much, Junpei.
She looked up at him. He scratched his nose and pretended to notice something interesting somewhere else in the room.
If you really want to thank somebody, you should be thanking Santa.
Santa? Why?
Well, he was the one who gave me that thing. And the words for each leaf, I got that from him too.
Oh.
Then suddenly, Clover broke away from Junpei.
Huh?
He looked confused. He hadn't thought she'd react that poorly. Clover began to pace across the room. Six steps to the left, 6 steps to the right, another 6 to the left, and then she stopped.
Did Santa really tell you those things?
Yes? Her eyes were serious, but not angry.
He did.
I feel so extremely out of the loop.
Did I say something wrong?
Oh no, not at all. In fact, this could be really good news. I think.
You think?
Santa knew about the words and the clover.
He knows something.
The only people
Go talk
who
to him.
should know about that are the other subjects.
Uh-huh.
Subjects.
The other people who were in the experiment 9 years ago, with my brother and me.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
But he's blind, and I was part of the Nevada test group.
I feel like I'm lore dump. Okay, so we have the Nevada test group, whatever that is. And Snake is blind. I don't know what that has to do with literally anything. But apparently it's relevant.
So neither of us would be able to recognize the faces of the people who were on this boat.
Ah.
Whoa. Okay, time out.
Junpei held up his hands. He took a deep breath and let it
Let's
out.
just calm down for a second, okay? Start from the top. Don't start with the end and then jump to the middle. You gotta start with 1 and then move to 2 and 3 and 4.
Yes.
And so on. If you don't tell me stuff in the right order, I'm never gonna be able to figure it out.
Okay.
Clover nodded.
All right, let's start with this experiment. What happened on this boat 9 years ago?
Do you know about morphogenetic fields?
Yes.
Morphogenetic fields.
He did, and the realization sent chills down Junpei's spine.
All right, how about this? Theory of the telepathic mechanism.
I think Lotus mentioned something like that.
Junpei recounted what Lotus had told him earlier. Clover nodded.
Telepathy, huh? Well, that's not really it, but I suppose it's similar.
So they were testing telepathy on this ship?
Yeah, I guess so.
So, what exactly did they have you guys do?
The same thing that we're doing now. Exactly the same thing.
What?
The nonary game. 9 people were put on this boat, and 9 others were put in the building in Nevada, and the game started.
Sorry! In the building in Nevada?
Look, I'm sorry, but I don't get it. What do the nonary game and some telepathy experiment have to do with each other? Am I missing something here?
Clover bit her lip. She blinked back sudden tears. What had happened to her in
The
Nevada?
ability to access a morphogenetic field is affected by a couple of things.
Panic?
First is epiphany, and the other is danger. You know how sometimes when you're up against a really tough problem, and then the answer just kind of pops in your head? That's an epiphany. And what you learn from the epiphany can be transmitted with telepathy. When you add danger to that equation, then it gets easier to transmit that information over telepathy.
So you're saying the nonary game was supposed to introduce that element of danger?
Yeah, but it couldn't be just any old danger. It had to be life and death. And someone did actually die. A girl.
Huh.
Junpei felt the sudden grip of despair on his heart. Something deep and distant and powerful squeezed, and for a moment he felt very, very empty and alone.
She was on the boat with my brother. I was in Nevada. I never met her, but I did hear her name. Her name was...
Sound of the door opening was like a gunshot. Junpei spun around.
Oh, my apologies. I seem to have disturbed you.
Ace, affectionately, stop doing that.
Ace.
You two must have strong stomachs. I can't imagine how you could stay in this room for so long.
Ace glanced down at the floor. At the corpse covered in blood.
At any rate, Junpei, would you be so kind as to come and help me with something?
What now?
I'm having a little trouble, and I could really use your assistance. Come on. It'll only take a moment.
With that, he turned and walked back toward the communications office. Clover waited until he was out of sight and spoke in a small, quiet voice.
I don't want Ace to hear us. We can talk about this later.
Huh? Hey, wait!
Oh, give me your name! Clover ignored him. Outside, Junpei could hear Ace calling.
Junpei, what are you doing in there? Hurry up.
Yes! Grumbling to himself, Junpei stomped off toward the communications office. What? Sorry, that's mean. What is the issue? Small screwdrivers. A set of small screwdrivers. Perhaps we can use them to dismantle small devices. Like this. Alright, the screwdriver ought to make short work of this music box. Great, now we have a cylinder. Looks to be a cylinder for a music box. There are a number of pins and some pieces of metal that look rather like fans attached to it. Okay, did you not gonna explain to me why you called me in here? It's an old telegraph machine, nothing suspicious here. Cool, I'll be honest, I have no idea how it works. I don't either, that's fine. Oh, something in the drawer. Ink. A bottle of ink. Can we dip the things? It's filled with ink. Some black ink. I guess I'll put the ink on the cylinder. Yay! Oh, yes. I see. You put ink on the cylinder. Yeah. If I roll it across a piece of paper, the pins and the fans will leave marks on it, right? Pins will make dots and the fans will leave lines. Alright then, show us. Well, I don't have a piece of paper. Ah, but it's gonna be... Nuh-uh, there's air. How old are you? 9? Nuh-uh. Oh, this is amazing. There's a pair of headphones on the desk. It's a really long cable. The tip is hooked into one of the desk drawers. Looks as though the drawer is the only thing that's locked. I don't see a keyhole, though. An electronic lock, perhaps? Take a look at the left side of the drawer. Yeah, there's some cables over there. That must mean... Okay. Paper! Hey, what is this? It's blank. There's nothing written on it. We also have... We have paper in our pocket, don't we? A white piece of paper. It's blank. Cool. Bam, bam, bam. Just gotta roll the cylinder across a piece of paper. If I'm right, the ink should... Morse code chart. Just as you suspected, right? Now you have a pattern of dots and lines on each paper. I imagine it's Morse code. These dots and lines are the dots and dashes of Morse code. Okay. Junpei, what are you doing? With the Morse code message. Certainly you know what to do next. No. An early telecommunications device. Most likely used to transmit a radio signal of some sort. I experimented with it earlier, but to no avail. I imagine it's broken. I guess people used to communicate this back in the day? Used this to communicate back in the day. Whatever it is, it doesn't work. Huh, okay. Sorry if it seems like I'm rushing. My brain is like spinning over everything we learned with Clover. Look, a hook. What? That wasn't a joke! I know, man. It's hook for hanging clothes, I think. Oh my god. Clock mounted on the wall. Hands aren't moving. Little surprised that the time is wrong then, I suppose. And there's nothing on the back. Okay. Alright, I've got the Morse code. I'm supposed to enter... If I do this right, something will happen. I hope. Alright, let's give this a shot. I don't know Morse code. Hey, Junpei, what's the matter? You can do better than that. My hand slipped. I'll get it right next time. Hey, Ace, look! It's a monkey with glasses! How on earth did you arrive at that conclusion? Also kind of looks like someone who's been watching too much TV. To be honest, I have no goddamn idea what this thing really is. Probably some kind of radio transmitter. Hey, Ace, look! It's a model of a steam train. How on earth did you arrive at that conclusion? Okay. I don't know, Morse code. Just normal light. Well, it won't turn on, so maybe it's not that normal. Bro, I don't know. Junpei, what are you doing? We've searched the wheelhouse from top to bottom. We have no reason to go back. In fact, don't you think it would be wise to investigate the captain's quarters? I think we ought to check both rooms, don't you? Okay. Z-E-R-O. Bro, am I supposed to know? Control panel for the electronic lock. Guess I gotta put in a passcode. I don't think it's just about numbers. There's a hole in the bottom of it right there. I think you need to put a key in first. Okay, thanks, Clover. That sounded really sarcastic. That was not supposed to be sarcastic. Broseph, I do not know Morse code. Looks like a pretty flower. Ah, you guys both came to the same conclusion. There's a big-ass rat trap over here. I told you, that's a telegraph key. It's a device that transmits messages through Morse code. Junpei, do you know how to operate this device? You operate it by pressing this button. The dot, which is red as it, is the result of a light tap on the button. The dash, which is duh, is what you will get if you hold the button down. So I press it once quickly for a dot. Hold it down for a dash. Okay, I'm gonna give it a shot. Okay. I did it! It's the last one, and yes! Excellent work, Junpei. Good job. You seem to have figured it out. You've unlocked the drawer. Yay! Ooh, whoa, what was that? A red file lay in the drawer. Junpei reached down and picked it up.
Looks like there's something on the cover. A-L-L-I-C-E.
All ice.
All ice. Alice. Does this mean...
Junpei couldn't hold back. He had to know what was in that file. Oh. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. I feel like this path I've like connected, like I've gone through a very like linear like connection path this time. And I don't know if it's like because I've gotten two ending, like I don't know. Like this, could I have gotten all this information if I had just gone down this way the first time? I feel like I got so much less when I did my first ending. They looked like tiny drawings of birds, snakes, insects, horned animals, wings, and even kneeling humans. There were many pages in the file, and each was full of these strange symbols.
What the hell is this?
He didn't realize he'd spoken out loud until Ace looked over at him.
They are hieroglyphs, a form of writing used in ancient Egypt.
Yes.
Ancient Egypt?
Why was that so judgmental? Ancient Egypt?
That's right.
Can you read them?
Of course. I can't. What would make you think I could?
What the hell?
Junpei, what? Why are they having beef? You need to chill. Junpei flipped through a few more pages. It wasn't just one or two pages that were covered in the strange symbols. Every single page was covered in them.
Whoa, the whole thing's like that.
Trying to read them was pointless. Junpei wasn't going to waste any more time with them. He had made to close the file, and something fell out.
What's this?
He bent down and picked it up.
Oh, a key card.
Bottom deck library. There was a symbol on it that reminded Junpei of the symbol for Saturn and Mercury key cards. This one, however, had a dot in the center, the male symbol.
Uranus. That's the Uranus symbol.
Junpei looked over to see Ace examining the card. It's a really stupid question, but it's not said like that, is it? Okay, apparently it is genuinely a debate. In addition to the Uranus symbol, there were 3 words engraved on the card as well.
Something's written on the bottom. Bottom deck library. This must be the key to the library then.
So it would seem.
Bottom deck library. Oh.
Junpei remembered something he'd heard from Seven when they'd been in the chemical closet.
Seven said something like...
Alice sleeps in a small chamber past the forest of knowledge beneath the navel of the gigantic.
Could beneath the navel mean the bottom deck? And the forest of knowledge is the library?
Maybe.
Then could Alice be in a room somewhere beyond the library?
Maybe.
What's wrong? Something on your mind?
Uh-huh. Junpei blinked. Only then did he notice Ace looking at him, curiosity and concern written across his face in equal parts.
Yeah. I just remembered something.
Is that so? What about?
Well, don't laugh, okay?
There was no reason for Junpei to hide his thoughts. He began to explain his theory to Ace. Then he stopped. It wouldn't make any sense if Ace didn't know who Alice was supposed to be. So he told Ace everything June had told him.
The Egyptian priestess, an Ice 9. Interesting.
And the woman who wouldn't melt, who was recovered from the Titanic disaster, they called her All Ice, which eventually turned into Alice, and she was purchased by an English millionaire who called himself Lord Gordain. According to Seven, this ship is where he hid Alice.
And you think that he hid her in a small room, beyond the library on the bottom deck?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is just a theory.
Ace stared off into the distance, his hands slowly and absent-mindedly stroking his beard. After a few moments, his hands stopped. He turned slowly to look at Junpei, and his brows drew together.
Junpei, have you ever heard of the term CAS?
I was gonna say, I don't think we've gotten like a lore dump from Ace yet. What random knowledge do you have?
It stands for Cells Alive System. It is an advanced technology for freezing and preserving organic matter.
Okay.
Put simply, it is a technique that allows one to freeze things without the formation of ice crystals. Normally, if you freeze something fresh, water within its cells expands as it crystallizes, damaging the cell membrane.
All right.
CAS, however, works differently. The object to be frozen is supercooled using magnetic fields, and then frozen instantly and uniformly, giving ice crystals no time to form. It was originally developed for the preservation of food, as an alternative to the normal freezing process. Now, however, there are rumors that it can be used for other things.
What do you mean, other things?
Well, there are obvious medical uses, but perhaps also space travel.
Okay.
Space travel? Are you serious?
Surely you've heard of suspended animation, cryogenic freezing?
I had not before. When I played Portal, I remember I had not heard of that.
It's a fairly common idea in science fiction books and films. People are sometimes frozen for especially lengthy journeys through space.
That was when Junpei understood what Ace was suggesting.
Whoa, wait a minute there.
Ace looked at him and raised an
Are
eyebrow.
you saying that Alice was frozen using that CAS thing?
Well, I'm sure the possibility is quite low, but it is a possibility. If this special ice you call Ice 9 does indeed exist, and CAS were used to freeze her into that sort of ice instantaneously.
You think she could be alive?
Well, I can't say for sure, of course. I'm only talking about possibilities. The melting point for Ice 9 is 96 degrees, right?
Okay.
If she were put somewhere where she could reach that temperature.
That's nuts. Are you really saying she could have defrosted and started walking about?
You're quite right. It does sound unbelievable. But if she had, then we would have an explanation for the man we found dead on the floor.
You mean the guy dressed like a captain?
Yes. He was dead when we found him. Clearly, he was murdered.
Yes.
But if he was murdered, then by whom? It couldn't have been one of us. That would be impossible. In order to enter the captain's quarters, one must first open door 1. That door that requires the Earth key prevented us from accessing door 1. Who was it that opened that door?
Santa and Lotus.
Right. Clearly, the two of them could not have opened door 1, or any other door for that matter. Who else then could have done so?
Junpei thought for a second.
Nobody. After Santa and Lotus used the Earth key, they turned back and met up with me and June. Then we returned to the large hospital room and found Ace, Seven, and Clover. While we'd gone into the shower room, Ace, Seven, and Clover had stayed behind. But it's impossible for those three to open door 1. But what about when June and I took the elevator to door 2? No, still won't work. We were only gone 5 minutes. No human being could have run to the captain's quarters, killed that guy in there, and run back that fast.
Yeah.
It would be impossible for any of us to be the murderer. That being the case, who could have killed him? Wouldn't it make sense if his killer was someone who had been in the ship for some time? A person like that would know the ship well.
Yes.
They would know the locations of all the hidden passages and secret doors. The numbered door would mean nothing to someone like that. It would be a simple thing for them to enter the captain's quarters.
Then you're saying the killer was Alice?
It was Junpei's turn to raise an eyebrow. Ace drew his thumb across his lips thoughtfully.
Well, this is all only one possible theory.
All right, lovingly, can we stop talking about theories and start investigating? We only have so many hours.
Alice. Is she really somewhere on the ship?
Junpei only had one clue. The key card in his
Maybe
hand.
this card will give me access to the Forest of Knowledge and the
I
big
want to go.
mystery.
Sorry if I seem impatient. I'm genuinely just like really excited about all this.
What could be there beyond the Forest of Knowledge?
I don't know.
Anyway, whatever. It's gonna have to wait. I can't do anything right now. I'll come back to this later.
He gripped the key card tighter and shoved it deep into his pocket. Okay, what is this? Oh, unique key. A key with a leather case. It isn't metal. My guess would be ceramic. Junpei, have you found a keyhole that might fit it? Yes. I have. Here. Maybe the key I got earlier. Just had to put that key in and now it's on. Junpei, look! There's a minus sign on the screen. There are 8 of them. Probably means we gotta put in 8 digits. Do you think you can figure it out? Would it be 0? God. There's 26 letters of the alphabet. So Z would be 26 plus 9. E would be A, B, C, D, E. 14. R would be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R. I wasn't counting. L, M, N, O, P, Q, R. 18. 18 plus 9. 27. O would be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O. Would be 15 plus 9, which would be 24. 35 plus 24. No, 35 plus 14 plus 27 plus 24. I'm a genius! Yes! It worked! Good job, Junpei! Excellent, you seem to have unlocked it. Good work, Junpei. Alright, let's go! You found it! Woohoo! They stepped out of the captain's quarters and into another hallway. The hallway stretched out in front of Junpei for a bit before turning left, like a great backward L.
All right, let's go.
Junpei rounded the corner and took off down the straightaway. He ran, and ran, and ran. The end of the hallway was
That's
a door.
the next door.
He made straight for it.
Wait, a piece of paper.
He was nearly halfway down when he noticed a piece of paper in the middle of the floor. Junpei skidded to a halt. He dropped down to his hands and knees and quickly tore the paper off the floor.
Map of the ship's interior for ADEC.
What's wrong?
Ace, slightly slower by virtue of his advanced age, had finally caught up to Junpei.
I found a map for this floor.
He showed Ace what he snatched from the wall. He looked at it long enough to determine what it was and nodded.
I see.
With that, he began running again past Junpei.
Well, that was anticlimactic. I should keep this, though.
Yes! ADEC map! Junpei shoved the map into his pocket and got up to follow Ace, but something stopped him.
Where's Clover?
He turned around. Clover was nowhere to be seen.
What the hell is she up to?
Junpei muttered angrily under his breath and took off back the way he'd come. As he stomped around the corner, he saw her. She was standing in front of the door to the captain's quarters, her hand on the door.
Clover!
Huh?
As Junpei watched, she closed it gently and quietly.
What the hell are you doing?
Nothing.
What do you mean, nothing?
Clover had unconsciously put her hands over the pockets of her jacket as if trying to hide
What the hell
something.
is that?
What?
You've got something in your pocket. What is it?
Oh, this? This is a note.
A note?
Yeah, I found it in the pocket of the guy with the captain's clothes. It said something about the darkness of the sinister hand or something.
What the hell? Let me see it.
No, not right.
Junpei wasn't going to get to see it. From the other end of the hall, he heard
Hey,
Ace's
Junpei,
voice.
Clover! What are you two doing? Hurry up!
He's getting mad.
Clover shrugged.
I'll show it to you later, all right?
No.
Come on, we gotta hurry.
Oh, I like hearing her happy again. Before Junpei could protest, she was gone. Around the corner and off down the stem of the L. A note? A note. Junpei was curious. But there was something else that bothered
From the
him.
look of that pocket, it doesn't particularly look like just a note. Jeez, what are you thinking? For crying out loud.
Junpei did his best to convince himself that it would make sense later, and ran off after Clover. That's me this entire game. Okay, Junpei pushed the door and found himself in a large room with a large set of
The big
stairs.
stairs. So this is where it ends up.
Right, back to door
Just like
number
it says
4
on
and
the
5.
map.
Yep, it was just what he'd expected to see after reading the map. So I see after reading the map meant the Ace had probably realized the same thing.
Ace, did he head down?
He put his hand on the handrail and leaned over to look down.
Oh, there he is.
Look, the 4 others are there too.
Oh, good! Not just Ace. Santa, June, Sep, and Lotus as well.
Really?
And Lotus as well.
Let's join them.
Junpei and Clover glanced at each other and hurried down the stairs. They reached B deck at the same time.
Jumpy! Clover!
Hi! June's face was excited. Something had happened, that much Junpei could tell by simply looking
What's
at her.
up?
Given their situation, he was not inclined to be excited about sudden developments. June, however, couldn't contain herself.
We found it!
Found what?
Door 9!
We found it!
What did you find?
The last door! We found door 9!
What?
Come on! Just follow us! We'll explain on the way!
Okay.
7 turned and jogged off down the stairs.
Well, if that's the case...
Wait for me.
We should get going as well.
Oh, I loved that Clover sprite. The rest followed.
Jumpy! We finally made it!
I didn't mean to skip it. The relief and excitement in her voice echoed what each one of them
Yeah,
felt.
it's finally time.
Junpei wasn't quite ready to believe they'd really done it, or at least not just yet. Still, if everyone said that it was door 9, then it probably
We've
was.
reached the end.
He could feel his heart racing. A mixture of anticipation and fear ran through his veins, and he could feel his legs shaking. He was doing his best to maintain a sense of healthy skepticism, but he couldn't deny that the prospect of escape was an exciting one. It is, but also a really scary one.
Only 3 to 5 people can go through the numbered door. 7 of us are on our way to door 9. That means that, best case scenario, there will be 2 of us who have to stay behind. 2 people. Is there a way?
Junpei looked over at the clock.
4:30. We've only got 90 minutes left. I've got no time to wonder about it now.
Hey, Junpei! June! What the hell are you two doing? Hurry it up!
Let's go, let's go! Santa's voice jolted Junpei out of his reverie.
Let's go, Jumpy!
June took off down the stairs, jogging as quickly as she could.
Yeah.
Junpei followed. As a group, they piled onto the elevator and rode impatiently down to E-Deck. It looked familiar. There was a metal grate between the 2 elevators. 7 grabbed hold of it and began to talk.
I know I told you I'd explain it earlier, but honestly, there ain't much to explain. After we split off from you guys, the 4 of us got into the elevator on the left, and that took us to the other side of the grate. After that, we headed down another hallway. It took us toward the bow, and eventually to the number 6 that you 2 found earlier. We opened it and kept going. There was another locked door behind it, like usual, but this time we had to complete 2 different areas before we could unlock it.
Yeah.
Once we were through that door, there was another hallway that went the other direction, toward the stern.
So, on your way, you found the elevator.
That's right.
So, in other words, you kinda did a lap, huh? You came from that side to this side.
Yes.
Yeah,
With that settled, Junpei looked around.
So, where's the number 9 door?
over here. Follow me.
7 began walking down the hallway that led toward the stern. Junpei and the others broke into a jog to keep up with him.
By the way,
They had been walking for a while, June in silent step with Junpei when she spoke.
you know, it's because of Santa that we're all here right now.
Really?
Huh?
That all 7 of us are going to door 9.
What?
You don't get it? Santa, 7, and Lotus, what's their digital route?
9. It's 9.
That's right. They could have just left me behind and kept going if they'd wanted to.
But they didn't.
Aww.
Yes, because Santa wouldn't let them. He said, we can't leave June and the others behind. That's why we went looking for you guys.
And then you got on the elevator and went back to the central staircase.
That's right.
Well, I wouldn't have called that one. That Santa would be the one to stick up for you. I mean,
Junpei felt his eyebrows knit as he considered that.
Oh, don't get me wrong.
Perhaps June had sensed Junpei's concern.
I don't mean that 7 and Lotus said they wanted to leave me behind. We were just talking about it, and Santa objected to it first.
is that so?
Junpei was about to respond when 7 suddenly stopped.
We're here.
In front of them stood a door.
So, is this...
Yeah.
Junpei couldn't see 7's face, but he could see him nod.
There's no other place for us to go.
Nope. Just look around. There's a big old iron wall at the end of the hallway. The other hallways on the left and right are blocked by metal grates.
I see.
It looked as though 7 was right. The door in front of them was their only choice.
All right, let's get moving.
Okay. He pulled open the door and walked in. Junpei took a deep breath and followed.
Oh,
It appeared they'd been telling the truth.
no way.
The first thing Junpei saw as he entered the room was the number 9. Like all the others, it was a rough thing made of red paint. The door it decorated sat on the back wall of a rectangular room. Junpei ran up to it.
The 9 door.
It was a large double door with powerful styling. Something about it was almost majestic, and it made the red paint look especially
We're finally
garish.
here.
Junpei grabbed the handle and shook. It didn't budge, but then he hadn't really expected it to. I was gonna say, the red was bolted to the wall next to the door. Its display read vacant.
No doubt about it. This is door 9.
I'm scared.
Oh, finally! This is the last.
Junpei felt a flood of emotion wash over him. He felt a chill down his back and his chest tightened as his blood began to boil. There was a moment of complete silence.
Junpei, look behind you.
He turned around.
Behind? What?
Junpei could scarcely believe what he saw.
A door and a 9. There's another one. Hey, what the hell? What the hell is going on here?
His words came slowly and his brain struggled to understand what he'd seen. On shaky legs, he made his way to the second 9. It was a small door set parallel to the door they'd come through, but in the other corner of the room. 9. There was no mistaking the number, and if any more proof is needed, a red was bolted to the wall near the
There's
door.
a red there too. That means... And of course it won't open.
He grabbed the handle and shook the door, not because he expected it to open, because he had to make sure it was real.
Why? Why the hell are there 2 doors?
It was Ace who spoke first.
Do you think perhaps one is the right door and the other is the wrong one?
Lotus was skeptical.
I don't know about that. It seems unlikely.
What makes you say so?
Well, think about all the rooms we've been through so far. They're full of puzzles, but there are always hints about how to solve them. I'm pretty sure there aren't any rooms where we just had to go with our best guess and leave it to instinct to solve the puzzle. Do you really think that at the very
For the most
end
part.
of the game, Zero's going to suddenly throw in something that depends entirely on luck?
Then you're saying there's some sort of hint in this room.
No, I don't think there's a hint anywhere in here. I searched it very well when I was in here before. I didn't find anything that might have been a hint, though.
Well then, that means...
Yeah, both of these are the right door. I mean, if you think about it, Zero never actually said there was only one door with a 9 on it.
It is hidden, but an exit can't seek
Yeah,
a way
we talked
out.
about this before. Junpei began to mutter to himself.
So if there are 2 number 9 doors, if we split it up right,
That's not gonna work.
Junpei blinked and looked up at Clover. She held out her
You've
hand.
got a notebook and a pen, right? Can I borrow them?
yeah, here.
Slightly confused, he pulled them out and handed them to her.
Look at this.
Clover opened the notebook to a blank page and set it down on the desk. Everyone else gathered around her and watched as she wrote down a series of numbers.
You get it? The numbers on the top are all the combinations with digital roots of 9. The numbers on the bottom are the people who don't fit. There's only 8 possibilities if we split up into 2 groups of 3 or 4 people. So...
If 3 people go through the door, then 4 are left behind. If 4 go through, then 3 are left behind. Right?
yeah.
Clover nodded, almost as if she were pleased with herself for solving a difficult math
No
problem.
way.
The room went very quiet. Silence lay across everyone like a thick, heavy blanket. No one spoke. Their faces were
Come to
blank.
think of it,
Desperate for something else to look at, Junpei turned his eyes to the room around
what
him.
is this room?
The walls were covered with candles. The wavering flame made the shadows of Junpei and his companions look as though they were dancing. 2 rows of wooden pews filled most of the
It
room.
looks like it's set up for some kind of ceremony. But
Yeah.
what kind?
Between them was a strip of rich red carpet. The carpet ran straight through the room, ending at the door that pointed to the stern of the boat. The other end of the carpet was a coffin! Show us the coffin!
Is that an altar?
Yes. There's a recessed space set into the wall between the 2 other doors. Sitting on a raised section of the altar was a coffin. A coffin. A coffin.
A coffin? No, it couldn't possibly be.
But if it wasn't, then whose body occupied it? That was as far as Junpei wanted to pursue that line of thought. He decided not to think about the coffin for the time being. You need to think about the coffin, though! Ah! At that moment, Seven spoke. There was an edge of humor to his voice, but it was forced.
Okay, I give up. I give up. I figured if we sat around here long enough, someone would volunteer. But I guess nobody's got the guts to do it.
What are you talking about?
Junpei didn't understand. He wasn't the only one.
What? You guys didn't figure it out yet? Fine. Let me enlighten you. Clover was mostly right with her little explanation earlier, but she missed something. She wasn't really wrong. She just... screw it. Let me just write it out.
Seven snatched up the notebook and began to write in it. Everyone else clustered around him, desperate for a look.
If you're trying to leave with a group of 3 and a group of 4 and get everybody out, Clover's right. But there's another way. Only one combination, though. If you split us up into groups of 3, 3, and 1, you can make this combination.
Wait, this means...
Don't get me wrong here. I'm not trying to copy Ace or anything like that. Even if he hadn't been the hero back in the big hospital room, I'd still be saying the same thing.
The same thing? Are you saying?
Yeah, I am. I'll stay behind.
Really?
Why are you acting so heroic all of a sudden? Are you some kind of idiot?
Lotus was the first to speak. I love that she was the first to speak. That in itself was a little strange. She'd reacted much differently when Ace had volunteered.
No, I'm completely against this. I'll be goddamned if I'm gonna have to owe you for getting out of here.
The rest of them began to speak all at once.
I'm against it too. I didn't want to leave Ace behind, and I don't want to leave you either. I don't like that idea. There's gotta be other options.
I disagree as well. I can't say I care much for you being the hero.
Finally, they quieted down. Junpei looked at
Well,
Seven.
there you go, Seven. Proposal denied. Clover's right. There's gotta be a better way than this.
Seven made some noise that was somewhere between a derisive snort and a cough.
Doesn't make any sense.
He was doing his best to pretend they were making a foolish decision, but Junpei could see the twinkling of water at the corner of Seven's eyes. That was when Santa spoke.
Whoa, hold on a minute. I haven't said anything yet.
Until then, Junpei hadn't realized that Santa had stayed quiet for the whole discussion of Seven's fate. Something in his voice made Junpei uncomfortable.
Are you agreeing? You want to leave him here?
Santa shook his head.
Nah, I'm against it. I don't want to leave Seven here alone.
Then I don't see how it matters.
I said alone.
Huh?
I said I don't want to leave Seven alone.
There was a dull shine in Santa's eyes. They were cold and hard. Junpei felt himself shiver.
What the hell are you?
What? You don't get it? I can't leave just one person. I need 2 more. 3 people, including Seven. I'll be leaving behind 3 people. That's my proposal. No, those are my orders.
What do you mean, orders? What the hell makes you think you can order us around?
Yeah, so
who the hell's gonna listen to you?
You all will. In 3 seconds, you won't have a choice.
Excuse me?
What?
3, 2, 1.
Santa was so fast, Junpei could barely see him. When he moved, it was almost like watching a dance. His feet moving like lightning. He spun and... What are you doing?! Oh, freaking heck! He went through the freaking door! What? Why? You wouldn't do that, though.
See? I told you.
His lips curled into a cruel, mocking smile.
What?
A shudder traveled the length of Junpei's spine. His chest froze and he could feel his breath go stale in his lungs. Nothing made sense. Junpei felt as though his head were about to explode. Santa's sudden change in attitude, saying that he needed 2 more. The gun in his right hand, a revolver. Santa had grabbed June from behind and pressed what Junpei's shaken brain identified as a revolver roughly against her temple.
What the hell is that?
Where on earth had Santa possibly found a gun? Junpei's questions roared in his mind, but his mouth refused to ask them. Seven spoke, almost as though he had sensed Junpei's confusion.
The gun's from the other room.
What room?
One of the rooms behind door 6. I should have known he was gonna do this. I should have taken the gun.
Well, it's too late now, fat ass.
Santa!
Damn it!
Mixture of fury and frustration twisted Seven's face and he glared at Santa. Santa, for his part, didn't so much as flinch. The corner of his lip twitched into a slightly wider smile. But why? What is the purpose of this? Then the smile faded and began to move. He walked backward, dragging June with him. For along his back was resting. Is he taking her through the door? On the wall next to him was the red. He put his hand on the scanner. Does she have something to do with your sister? Like, what is happening here? He put us on the scanner panel quickly and then forced June to do the same.
Now, time for you to start following my orders.
All right.
Ace, Lotus, congratulations. I've chosen you to come with me.
Okay.
Put your hands in the red.
That was what Santa had meant when he said he needed two more.
You deaf? I gave you an order.
Is there even any other way to do that? Who did he say? He said Ace and Lotus. So that means he needs 9. You could take me and Clover, but that's the only other option, I think. Santa's eyes narrowed to slits. He glared at Ace and Lotus. They stayed, frozen like deer caught in the headlights of an oncoming car.
Fine. I didn't want to waste any bullets, but you guys just don't get it.
No sooner were the words out of Santa's mouth than his hand twitched, and the gun roared. A section of the floor exploded, scattering wood splinters across the floor. A thin plume of smoke snaked out of the hole in the floor. There could be no doubt that the gun was real and worked.
He really shot it? But why? Santa, why are you...
Clover's voice spoke of betrayal and disbelief.
Santa, I thought you were one of us. I thought we were friends.
What?
You knew about the leaf words and the 4-leaf clover.
Santa's cheek twitched almost imperceptibly.
What the hell is that shit? I've got no idea.
You're lying.
Shut up. Just shut up, you stupid bitch. You want me to put a bullet in your fucking head?
Whoa! Flex's spit flew from Santa's mouth and his face twisted with rage. Clover recoiled, her eyes wide. When she spoke, her voice was very small.
Santa.
He snorted, then shook his head vigorously and turned to face Ace and Lotus.
All right, assholes. What are you still standing there for? Get over here and scan those bracelets. I don't have all day. Oh, what's the matter? Your hearing's starting to go? Going senile, maybe?
What is going on? Just go, just go, just go! Ace and Lotus didn't move. It almost seemed as if they couldn't move. June's face was pale behind Santa's arm. Her eyes were wild and her chest heaved with every quick breath like an animal cornered by a predator. June's mind worked furiously. What were they going to do? Then he realized something. There was nothing they needed to do. There was nothing to debate. June's safety was the first priority. That much was obvious. Doing as Santa had commanded meant she would be safe from at least 2 threats. She wouldn't be shot. She would leave the ship alive along with Santa, Ace, and Lotus. There was only one thing for Junpei to do.
It's the only way.
He turned to Ace and Lotus.
Please, go.
Oh.
Huh?
No way.
Jumpy, what are you saying?
Go.
If you stay here, you're going to be stuck, Jumpy. And so will Clover and Seven.
I know, but you don't need to worry about us. We'll figure something out.
Between us, if we add Snake, 7, 7, 4, 5 equals 9. Yeah! Right? Oh, please don't let my addition be wrong. 4 plus 5 is 9. Plus 7 is 9. Plus 7 is 16. Plus 2 would be 18, so we just need Snake, and so it's fine. Just go!
Right, 7?
Right. You just leave it to us.
We got it.
It's gonna piss me off to do what Santa says, but...
Don't worry about me either. There's still something I have to take care of.
Uh-huh.
No, you can't!
June, just trust us.
Ace, Lotus, don't come over! Don't worry about me, please!
June was almost crying. Junpei walked around behind Ace and Lotus. He gently placed a hand on each of their shoulders and pushed them toward the door. They almost stumbled, then righted themselves and took another step and another. Just go, please. They turned around and Junpei nodded.
Go.
Oh, all right.
Fine.
Ace and Lotus turned around again and walked slowly toward the door where Santa was waiting for them. After what seemed like an eternity, they stopped in front of the door marked 9. Santa smiled.
All right. Now let's get those hands on the scanner panel. What's the holdup? What? You think I'm fucking around here? I don't give a shit about this girl.
I think that's a lie.
Red doesn't need a person, you know? All I need is the bracelet. You get it? Good. Now put your fucking hands on the scanner. I'm not gonna say it again.
He shoved the revolver harder against June's head and she winced.
Fine.
Ace sighed, defeated, and placed his hand on the scanner panel. Lotus went next. Lotus glared at Santa and slammed her hand into the scanner panel. Fourth asterisk blinked on.
Good job. Now, Lotus, pull that lever. As soon as the door opens, you get your ass in there. Try anything stupid, and you know what happens, right?
Damn it.
Just go. Junpei can almost hear Lotus's teeth grind. Look. The door slid open. Door number 9 opened at last. It opened with a low, powerful rumble. A drum roll to welcome the chosen few.
Good. Go.
Lotus and Ace walked through the door, their eyes furious but defeated. Santa waited until they were all the way inside, then hauled himself and June across the threshold as well. 7, 8.
Later.
After exactly 9 seconds, the door swung shut. Oh my god. The gust of air it created caused the candles in the altar to flicker and die. The room fell silent. Junpei, Clover, and 7 had been left behind. Clover looked down at her hand and traced with her finger the faint blue veins that crisscrossed it. 7 shoved his arms into the front of his overalls and scratched his stomach. No one spoke. Silence made the air feel thick and oppressive. Just to double check. Yeah! Desperate for something, anything to occupy his mind, Junpei walked to the larger of the 2 9 doors. He stood in front of it and looked at the red. The red engaged. He moved to the smaller door. The red read vacant. God. The digital root of the remaining people was 7. There was no possible way for them to open a door with a 9 on it. Junpei touched the surface of the door.
June.
He thought about June, about Akane Kurashiki. Was she safe? That was all that mattered to him. If she was alive, if she had escaped this horrible boat. Oh. That was what Junpei prayed for. 7 keyed up next to him. He pulled off his hat, scratched his head, and sighed.
So, what do you want to do, Junpei?
What do you mean, what do I want to do? What can we do?
7 opened his mouth to respond when a noise echoed through the room. Someone was pounding on something vigorously. It wasn't mechanical, it was certainly human. Junpei and 7 looked at one another.
What the hell is that?
Shh, quiet!
Clover motioned to 7 to be quiet. She put one finger on her lips and closed her eyes in concentration. Three of them listened, trying to determine where the sound was coming from.
Where is it coming from? Could it be?
Hey, I think it's coming from this coffin.
You're right!
Let's open it.
But how?
What are those muscles for show?
You're telling me to force it open?
Just shut up and try!
Junpei and 7 grabbed hold of the coffin. They tried to get a good grip with what little purchase they could find and pulled with all their strength.
Damn it!
It won't even budge.
There was some sort of keypad attached to the coffin. Its purpose would not have been difficult to determine. Their eyes were almost immediately drawn to it.
Another one?
Yeah, looks like it.
Do you think we have to put in the right password or it won't open?
I think so.
The noise wasn't stopping. In fact, it was getting louder.
Whoever or whatever's inside this thing wants out. And now.
I know that. But how?
Without a passcode, I don't think there's much we can do.
They couldn't even tell how many numbers the passcode needed to be.
Isn't there a hint somewhere?
Well, let's look for one.
Unfortunately, there didn't seem to be anything near the coffin. Clover ran to examine the pews, and 7 investigated the desk, but they turned up nothing.
There's nothing here.
Not making this easy, are they?
The sound still wouldn't stop. It wasn't a noise that belonged in that room.
What's the passcode? What am I supposed to do? How can we figure it out? I
don't know.
Something.
Ah! What? You're up like that. Unfortunately, I'm Santa. Now it is time. Let our game begin. What is happening? What? I don't know if I was supposed to watch that or not. I was scared of spoilers, so I clicked. Okay. Yeah. The 3 left behind. Huh. Okay. Oh my god. Well, okay, unfortunately, I recorded for longer than I meant to. I have to leave for work in like 3 minutes. So I don't really have a ton of time to talk today, and I'm supposed to do character rankings and I didn't. I'll try to rank it. Clover up, Santa, I don't know. I was gonna put 7 down for the things last episode, but then he went up for the end. Lotus stays up, Junpei up. Snake is fine. Ace is fine. Ah! Oh my god! So much happened. So much happened. June is tied to Santa somehow. I know that for sure. It's gotta be. He was totally trying to protect her. I bet you anything that that's what he was trying to do. I don't know what he realized or what he knew or what, but he knew that. And that is my theory. Lotus and Ace not wanting to go was so sweet, and Clover, I got so much information in a good way. Oh my god, so much happened, but unfortunately, I have to go. But I will probably be talking to Discord, so if you want to talk to me about this game or any of the other games I play, please feel free to join the Discord, link in the description of this video or the about page of my channel. I would love to have you there. So sorry I have to cut this short. So sorry if it seemed like I was rushing. I wanted to get to the ending, but also I have to leave for work and I have so many things to think about. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!